Hey, this is Krista from Lutharo, and you're listening to The Dan Chan Show.
So I'm joined by Krista from Canadian melodic metalers Lutharo. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Whereabouts in the world are you?
I am in Ontario, Canada. Just like an hour from Toronto. I'm in Hamilton, but whenever I say that, people are like, "What?" So I just say Toronto.
I had a friend from a place called Cornwall, and I went to Cornwall many years ago. And I went there. I was like, "This is like, it feels like so like backward." Should I say? I don't know what to say about it. It was just really like a place, you know what I mean? I was like, and I was there for a week. I was like, "This is weird, man," but it was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I do love Canada. I was there. I've been to Vancouver and Toronto, and I do love it very much. And
awesome.
I'm glad I got you on the show, because the reason I wanted to make this happen is because a year ago I was working in Bulgaria. Your album had just come out, and we had an interview set up to go, but you couldn't make it because you were stuck on the border between Canada and US with some visa issues.
Was it going probably into the Raven tour?
Yeah.
Yes, that was awful. Yeah, we needed an ATA carnet.
That's the classic. We need that in Europe a lot with Brexit.
Yeah.
We know exactly what you're talking about. So that was the issue, was it? All your instruments had to be registered.
Yeah, and we had never heard of that before because we've crossed the border so many times already, like doing whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the first time we had ever heard of it. And even since, when we bring it up at the border, half of the border agents don't even know what we're talking about.
Not bothered, I'm sure.
And we're like, so glad we went through this.
I'm sure it's a good learning curve. And can I ask now, I'm going to get the elephant out of the room right away. What's the situation with the States right now for you guys? Do you feel any animosity? Do you feel it? Because being European, obviously we feel it. And I was in the States only a couple of weeks ago and I could feel it again. So how is it for you?
It's a little anxiety inducing.
Right.
I'm honestly trying my best to ignore it. And but obviously there's headlines and there's videos everywhere of everything that's going on, right? My sister is living in America right now too. So she's like in the eye of the storm, which really sucks. But yeah, just trying to
what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Yeah. It's crazy.
Right? Like, there's some people who get really consumed by it. I try not to, because there's so much out there that can just like really swallow you whole. But
I know.
Yeah, I just try
I can't help but wake up in the morning and put CNN on though. I like to get that opinion. I like to know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
It's bad. It's bad. But okay, so let's get into the music, because your Chasing Euphoria album, which to me was one of the best albums of last year. For me, it's a phenomenal album, right? I'm going to be honest. A really great album.
Thank you.
And I can't actually believe how ironic it is that it's a year later that we should have been talking, but now the album's a year old, but it doesn't feel like a year old. How important is has the album been to you so far?
Super. Honestly, I feel like it's pushed us to the next step or the next level, musically, emotionally, physically, everything. Like our whole band has just kind of like gone up since then. I feel like it was a big push in the right direction. I feel like we became more ourselves as musicians, and we connected to our fans a little bit more through this. Yeah, there's a lot of touring going on with this album too, and people just took to it really well. So yeah, it's been probably my favorite album to date.
do you feel like, being a year in, do you feel like you're coming towards the end of the cycle now with it? Moving on to the next?
It still feels like we released this yesterday. It feels like it just came out like 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, it still feels so fresh to me. I don't know, but we're writing some new stuff, so awesome. We're gonna have to focus on that. But yeah.
Did you feel the difference between this album and the last album with regards to how palpable it is, the move forward?
Oh yeah, like night and day. Like I felt it, like I was saying, like in our music instrumentally, ourselves as like people, everything. Like it just like everybody just kind of locked in really well on this album, and we were a little bit more willing to experiment. I know for myself, I kind of let my guard down a lot more because before I played it a little bit safe. I feel like with albums previously. But with this one, I just kind of like did whatever I was feeling, and I feel like it works. So
What I'm going to say now is not a criticism at all. So what I'm saying, what I want to say to you is that the album, the production is so good. It feels like that production should be for a band that's even bigger than you guys. Do you know what I mean? So it's not a criticism, it's a compliment because the production is absolutely out of this world. How did you manage to create that sound, start the writing process and the recording process? Just give me a brief insight to that.
Thank you. Yeah, we were like, I guess it's like um what is the saying? Dress for the job you want, not the dress job you
Right.
have, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and so we recorded everything ourselves. Our drummer Corey, he recorded like everything just like basically. And then we sent it off to Lasse Lemaire. He lives in Germany. He does Ailstorm, Glory Hammer, those guys stuff. So
Yeah.
he's like one of the bigger dudes in recording and stuff
Yeah.
in the scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where we're getting it from. Also, Elliot adding his own spin. Elliot from Ailstorm doing the orchestration and everything
Yeah.
just made it 10 times bigger. So
Yeah.
yeah, working with like really professional people. I think that's what brought it up.
Now, what themes do you cover the lyrics? Is that what you do?
I do, yes. Yeah.
So, what
I write
themes?
them
What,
all.
what do you like to write about?
I usually am inspired basically by like my day-to-day life, whatever makes me feel an aggressive amount of emotion,
Yeah, I
whether
see.
it's something I've experienced, I'm watching a friend experience, watching family members or whatever makes me feel like really intense emotion, I will write about that.
Yeah,
Because I want, when I get up on stage, I want to feel that intense emotion and be able to make the audience also connect to that and feel that.
I get you. And Time to Rise as well. That's another track that I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get that one in.
That's my
So
favorite.
it's absolutely to me that honestly, I'd listen to that. I have a playlist for my plane when I do a lot of traveling, and that I think those two tracks I always put them on repeat. Anyway, enough. I'm really giving you a lot of. No, don't do that.
Oh, no, thank you. I
So,
needed that today, honestly.
no problem. Now the videos are great too. You really get into it. Is it like, do you enjoy making them, or is it like a labor of love?
I love it, honestly. Even the Creating a King one, I don't know if you saw that music video where it was so cold that day. Oh
Yeah,
my God. Um, I was scared I was going to lose limbs that day. Honestly,
really.
it was so
Was it filmed?
cold.
Was it filmed locally for you?
It was, yeah. It was filmed about probably like 15 minutes from my house on our friend's apple orchard. So,
Oh, nice,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so that one was so much fun, even though we froze. Born to Ride, that music video is probably one of the most fun days of my life. Well, not only
Yeah.
because like we got to ride the go-karts and stuff all day, but like all of our friends were there with us, like filming with us, and it was just like a big party. So yeah, I find it really fun. And like bringing the music to life is really fun too. And like obviously I love being with the guys too because we just joke about everything the whole time even if we are suffering. So
How is it with the guys? You obviously the only female in the band. Do you mother them or do they look after you like a sister? How is it?
um I think it goes kind of both ways. They are like, because I can be a little bit of a baby sometimes,
Right. Okay.
like in certain ways. Because I'm more emotional than they are and stuff. So I can be more like I can get upset easier than they do, and they are always there to like comfort
Oh
me
yeah.
or
I get
be
you.
there for me or like in a protective way or just like settle me down kind of thing. But then I am like, take your vitamins, eat this, eat that, do
Yeah.
this, blah blah blah. So it's like
That's
it kind of
funny.
goes both ways.
That's funny. Now, your voice, it's incredible, right? So, how easy do you find it going from growl to clean? And is there anything you have to do to prepare your vocals before you record? Obviously, you record them in steps and stuff like that. But how do you look after your voice, and how do you distinguish when you're writing your lyrics between what's going to be a heavier vocal to say a clean?
I think I'll start off with the what I'm how I get like the cleans versus screams. I think like just listening to a song before I even write lyrics or a melody, I'm already like, that's going to be a scream part.
Right.
That's going to
Yeah.
be a clean part.
Yeah.
Just because like the intensity of the riff that's going on, sometimes I can be wrong with that.
Mhm.
But a lot of the times I'm like, I need to really put a lot of emotional intensity on this. So I'll choose to scream instead of sing, or like, I want this to be a little bit softer. So I'll yeah, choose softer singing or whatever. It's just basically what the riff is doing and the story I want to tell with it.
Sure.
As far as taking care of my voice, I do warm-ups, breathing exercises,
Right.
constantly drinking water, taking rest when I need to, especially on tour, because the tours that we've done recently have been ruthless. They're like, I think the Raven tour, it was like at one point supposed to be 17 days in a row or something, and then like one of the days didn't get booked. But I remember getting to like day 10 or 11 being like, oh my God,
Really?
like this is brutal. So I kind of realized throughout that tour where my limits were and like when I needed to shut up. Cause that's the biggest thing is like,
no small talk.
Yes. Yeah. Like you have to. And like, that's one of the things, like, cause I, learned a lot from Melissa Cross. She's, like a really well-known vocal coach. And she said, if you're feeling that way, shut up.
Yeah.
It sucks because you want to be talking to everybody and joking around with everybody, but like that's the only thing that will repair your voice is not talking and sleeping.
Yeah, I understand.
So yeah.
So where did you first find your voice? You know, what journey did you take to get to where you are now with regards to finding between obviously the cleans and the screams and everything? Tell me about that.
It took me so long to get anywhere because like I've always loved singing, but I haven't always been good at it.
Right. Okay.
It took me a long time to get decent pitch, to find like what my actual natural voice was supposed to sound like, because I mean, I was copying other people so much, or like taking influence from other people so much with my voice and trying to find my own voice. It wasn't until we started writing our own stuff and I really kind of let my guard down and it came out. Yeah. It took me a long time to get a good grit in my voice and find the placement for that without hurting myself. With screaming, up until the Unleash the Beast EP, I didn't ever think that I would be able to scream, because I was like, there's no way, I'll ruin my voice. It wasn't until I heard Angela Gasso scream, because I was like, girls, like how are they making this sound? They can't possibly make that sound, you know? And then I heard that and I was like, oh yeah, okay, well, if she can do it, then I can do it. And then immediately picked up the Melissa Cross DVDs and all that. So yeah, that was a long journey. I went through 2 different screaming techniques until I landed on fry screaming, which is what I do now. And that seems to be working.
Sounds good.
Fingers crossed.
So what bands got you into metal? I can see the Satanist Behemoth classic, one of my favorite bands right behind you. So what got you to where you are now to want to be doing what you're doing?
So I mean, I've always loved music. I've always wanted to be in a band. I just didn't really know what kind of band until high school, when I discovered metal.
Right. What did you discover? What was it?
So when I was in high school, hardcore and like deathcore and stuff was like all the rage. And like I like that stuff. It has it vibes with me kind of. It wasn't until I heard Megadeth, which is weird because most people start with Metallica. Yeah. But for me, I heard Megadeth and I was just like, you can have like heavy stuff going on, but still have like clean singing, basically. Yeah. And then I discovered Pantera and then Slayer and like all these other, like basically the big American bands. Yeah. And then it went into European bands, Amon Amarth, Arch Enemy, all that stuff, Behemoth. Yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
And just went down the rabbit hole.
So obviously going down that rabbit hole made you find the band that you're in now. Was it the first band? That was back in 2014, I believe. How did it happen? How did you get together? How did you meet the guys? Because they're obviously a little bit older than you, it seems, I assume, just from their beards and their looks. You know, I mean, how did it all come together?
Victor and myself actually went to high school together, so we're the same age, but the rest of the guys are older. Okay. We are, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we went to the same high school, but I only went for a semester because I was going for like a musical theater program. And at the time, Victor had already kind of started a band. It was in like, they didn't really have a name or anything. They just kind of like had a group and they were working on stuff. So he was kind of popping in and out of like the program that I was doing musical theater stuff on. And I guess I did like a mic check and I was singing and I had a metal shirt on. So he added me on Facebook or something and was just like, do you want to like join a band, like a metal band? I was like, hell yeah.
Wow,
I
that's cool.
guess he always wanted a female vocalist. So lucky for me.
Very cool. And then did the rest of the guys just filter in from there? Is that how they got involved?
Yeah. So Corey actually ended up, he played on the Unleash the Beast record. And he replaced our previous drummer. And then he was kind of in and out because he's always had so much going on and like so many different priorities and his own bands going on before us, basically. So he
Right.
was in and out. Now he's back in.
Right.
And Chris, strangely enough, it was kind of a cool story. We went to see Unleash the Archers play in Toronto. And the next day we put a posting up for, actually, no, we played with Unleash the Archers in Toronto. Sorry. We opened
Right.
for them.
Right.
And we put a posting up for that we were looking for a bass player. And I guess Chris was at the Unleash the Archers show, seen us play, and then immediately messaged us about the
That's cool.
bass post. And then we are like, okay, this is our guy. And we never looked at any other bass player. It was just him.
Have you
And yeah.
have you played with them again? Because obviously they're Canadians, right? As well.
Yes.
Have you
Yeah.
have you toured with them?
With Unleash the Archers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we toured. We did a mini tour with them. It was just Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, and Quebec City. But
Okay.
we'd love to get on like a big North American or European tour. I think like the vibe was just so well. Like we gained so many fans off of that because the music just works so well together, right? So
For sure, absolutely. It's a perfect cohesion. But so let's talk tours because obviously you're coming to Europe soon, aren't you?
yeah, less than a month. I think 3 weeks today we leave. I'm counting down the days.
It's not your first tour in Europe, is it?
No, we've done a tour in Germany and a tour in Spain, just kind of like a couple weeks at a time.
But it's your first full European.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, you're looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, very much.
Awesome. I'm hoping to be at the Bar. If I'm in the country, I'll be definitely at the Barcelona show, so I'll be able to catch you there. But so
Awesome.
obviously, so you've done a lot of touring with the album. You know, what's been like the best places to play for you guys? You know, obviously you've done a lot of touring, especially in the States. Where do you like to play? When do you look at the agenda? Where do you go? Oh, I can't wait to go there. What's the place for you? For the food or for the wine, for the atmosphere, for the fans?
Like in Europe or in North America?
Anywhere.
Well, being in Europe last time was incredible. Like I think our favorite place was Spain because of like the fans are just so insane. Like we played and we like didn't really know anybody. Nobody really knew us, but it was packed. Like the bars were packed. Everyone's going crazy, singing everything. And we're just like, where are we right now?
Yeah,
just
they
because,
do love it.
yeah, it was years ago too. So like I think maybe had just released High Right as well. So Germany was amazing. I'm trying to think of places in the US. There's so many, and we've been to so many places that a lot of them like kind of mush.
Yeah.
In some places that you don't expect to be great end up being great. Like we're always thinking like, yeah, LA and stuff, but LA hasn't been like the best for us or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird scene. I'm trying to think.
Where would you
it's
like?
hard to think off the
Where
top
would
of
you
my
like
head.
to go? Where would you like to go that you've not been to?
Probably Sweden.
Right,
Sweden, Finland.
Metal countries. Metal runs through their veins up there.
Yes, exactly.
Easy. Easy.
Basically anywhere in Europe.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Because we've been to the US so much.
You played the UK, right?
No, not yet. That's another place we'd love to play. So yeah, people keep bugging us to go there, and we're like, it's not up to us.
It'd be super, super popular in the UK for sure. Now, obviously, with regards to your shows, what's a Lutharo show like? What's it like from a fan's perspective and what you give? What could we expect from a show from you?
I would say a lot of energy. Like we
Yeah.
are constantly running around, jumping around in everybody's faces, laughing, doing ridiculous stuff on stage. Because like the music is very serious, but we're not serious on
No,
stage.
sure, sure.
We definitely have a good sense of humor, but yeah, nonstop energy. Just we really focus a lot on our stage performance because if you don't, then like people can just listen to the record at home. They want to
Of
see a
course,
show, right?
of
They want
course,
to connect.
of
So
course, of course. And the other question is for you with regards to live. What do you prefer? Obviously, you're a lyric writer, got a fantastic voice, fantastic band. Do you prefer studio or stage?
stage.
Right.
Stage so much. Oh my goodness. Besides talking on stage, I've been getting better at it, but I'm not very good at it. I always
Yeah.
like fumble over my words and like lose what I'm gonna say like halfway through the sentence or something, like
Yeah.
start sweating. Um and the studio just feels like sometimes it's okay, but most of the time it just feels really formal and like, okay, you've
Sure.
got to get it done, you got to
Yeah, yeah.
nail it, it's got to be perfect. Whereas on stage, like obviously you want to do the best you can, but
But there's
there's
some
a
room
little
for
bit more
error.
lenience.
It's chill. Or yeah,
Exactly.
people want
And
to see that of you, characters.
yes, and even if something does happen where you go off key or a little bit or something like that, people, it's not like they're looking for that or they want to hear that, but they're like, oh, she's human.
Or human.
You know,
Exactly
I
right.
feel that when I see other vocalists, I'm like, oh, okay,
Exactly
thank
right.
God she's human.
Exactly right. Do you, when you get downtime on the road, what do you like to do? Do you get like the odd couple of hours? Obviously, you get time to walk around cities, go and see things. What do you prefer to do? Maybe sleep or rest, or do you like to go and see where you are?
A lot of the times we don't have time. Especially in the US, there's so much
Mm.
driving in
Yeah,
between
of course.
everything that most of the time I'm just sleeping. If we do get a chance to walk around and get to see stuff though, I'm out there.
Yeah, I understand.
We're hoping we're gonna have a lot of time in Europe because the
Yeah,
drives are a lot shorter and we have a tour bus. We don't have to drive this time.
that's
So
nice. That's very
hopefully,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
try some food.
you got to see some stuff. Europe's so cool. Now I've got some fun
Mhm.
questions. Can you handle some fun questions?
Yes.
Awesome. What's one thing everyone should try at least once?
Uh, I don't know, being cringy, making themselves look stupid
Okay, cool.
on
Relax. Yeah.
purpose.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, if you could know the truth to one question, what question would it be? Bit deep
Mm,
that, bit deep.
yeah. Why are we here?
Oh yeah,
What
that's a
is the
good one.
purpose of
Yeah,
this?
true. Okay, more personal. What would your autobiography be called?
um, Probably after the song, I get knocked down and I
Really?
get up again.
I like it. Why?
That's my
Why?
whole life.
What is it
Oh
really?
my God. Oh yeah, that's our whole story as a band is just like we get one step forward and five steps back and we're dealing with that right now. So we're just like, yeah, that's like our whole story to
Mantra.
life.
That's your
Is that
mantra.
song?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what would your perfect murder weapon be and why?
Probably a baseball bat, I
Yeah,
think. I
it's to
think
the
like
point. It's to the point.
just
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like I wouldn't
Over.
use a gun is too complicated, baseball bat.
Yeah, straightforward. Now, if you could steal credit for one piece of art, song, film, book, etc., what would you claim? Just one thing that maybe a book that you love or a film you love, you'd love to say you've written, or a song or an album that you say you could have created yourself. What would it be?
Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath.
Classic. Absolutely, absolutely. If you could have any superpower, what power would it be and why?
To have an infinite voice, the
Yeah,
voice
okay.
that never fails me.
Okay, fair enough. That's good. That's fair enough for you. If you could choose one song to play every time you walked into a room for the rest of your life, what track would it be? It's like Krista's here, door flies open, and the track plays. Don't forget, you have to go to doctors and dentists and everything. So it'd be like the big
Oh no.
parties, funerals, everything.
Um, I've thought about it a little bit. Maybe I would say, um, I don't know how to pronounce it, like Sales of Chiron
Yeah, that's
by
Scorpions.
yeah, that one.
That's a
Yes,
classic.
Scorpions.
Down it.
Yes. I just love yeah.
It's a
It's just
classic.
such a badass
It's a
like
classic.
intro.
It's a
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
Now, what fictional character do you identify with the most and why?
um, I don't know.
You can pass. We can skip that.
Maybe Roger from American Dad.
Okay.
We watched American Dad.
Okay. What's your unpopular musical opinion?
That there's no rules. You don't have to follow a rule book to make good music. You just have to have it come from your gut.
Yeah, I appreciate that. What would your death row meal be?
Ooh, probably a bucket of sour keys.
Of what? Of what?
Sour keys.
What's sour? Is it? Oh, the like Haribo thing, the sweets.
Yes, yeah, like
that's not a meal.
They're like shaped like keys, and they're like sour.
Really, like they make you like go crazy with your like face, like.
Yeah, I love sour stuff and I love spicy stuff. So maybe like spicy chicken wings and a bucket of sour keys.
It's a good job you're going on death row.
Those rot my stomach. Yeah.
Okay. Just what have you got any funny like tour stories? Anything funny that's happened on the road apart from the ATA Carne? Anything that's like that was funny or something that happened on stage for you?
Oh God. Probably a lot of things. I need to think off the top of my head though. I had some guy, this was a couple of years ago. I always think about this story. There was a guy we were watching or like we were playing, and this guy went in like right like face to face with me and picked up a ceiling tile and smashed it over his head. It was like I was like, really? Okay.
It was a low ceiling, right? It just like lifted it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly. It was like a club.
Wow.
But
funny.
Yeah, there's been honestly, I feel like our life is just one big joke. Like most things that happen to us are just ridiculous. We had a border guard tell us that our bus was too messy and we can't have it like that crossing the border. He said our bus was unacceptable.
What from which country to which country?
Coming in okay, so the story is basically we're coming back in we're coming back into Canada, and they had just looked at all of our Canadian passports, so they know that we're Canadian. We're Canadian. Coming home at this point. Yes. So two guards go into our bus and they're like looking through it, and like they come back in a couple minutes, which it usually takes longer, and they come out and like they look angry, like visibly angry, and they're like, where are you guys from? And we're like, we're Canadian. Victor like shows his passport and he's just like, this bus is unacceptable. He's like, next time you come here, you better clean it up or I'm gonna refuse you at the border. And we're just like, wow. What?
That's funny.
Can you do that? Like
that's hilarious. I love that story. I love it.
Hold us at the border until we clean it. Like
unacceptable for Canadian behavior. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So what one Lutharo track do you think sums the band up the best? You know, a track you play to someone that doesn't know the band that you'd say, this is us. There it is. What track would it be from your perspective?
Lyrically, I would say Born to Ride. Just because it's like our life story is just like we're faced with how many different obstacles, and we just have to keep facing them and keep trucking through.
Right. Cool. That's respectful. And what's the most used emoji in your phone?
Probably the one that's like it has like the shaking like vibrations around it.
All the shit's happening at once kind of thing.
Yeah, that or the big star eyes. I
love that. I love that.
Sometimes the drunk face too. It's like,
oh yeah, the drunk, yeah, class, always.
Yeah, classic.
Krista, thanks so much for joining me on the show. Really appreciate your time, and good luck with the tour, and welcome to Europe soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.